If you grew up watching Nickelodeon, then you may have heard of Dan Schneider. He was responsible for many of its hit shows during the 90s and 2000s, such as The Amanda Show, iCarly, and my personal favorite, Drake and Josh. In recent years, Dan has been brought into controversy due to rumors about abusive and possibly sexual behaviors between him and his young female co-stars.
What?
Jamie Lynn Spears, the star of Zoe 101, infamously got pregnant at 16 years old. He is the true father of Jamie Lynn Spears' daughter.
What? A scandal at Nickelodeon. What scandal happened at Nickelodeon, bro?
Nobody talks about pedophilia.
It's the big secret.
What the f did it? Well, hold on. What did this just open up with? My like that is crazy. What the fuck?
Nobody talks about pedophilia.
It's the big secret.
And it's widespread?
What big secret?
I was surrounded by them when I was 14 years old. Surrounded. Literally.
What?
Didn't even know it. It wasn't until I was old enough to realize what they were and what they wanted and what they were about and the types of people that were surrounding me till I went, oh my God, they were everywhere like vultures.
What?
If you grew up watching Nickelodeon, then you may have heard of Dan Schneider. He was responsible for many of its hit shows during the 90s and 2000s, such as The Amanda Show, iCarly, and my personal favorite, Drake and Josh.
Well, he had a list though. Oh, that Kid and Kill, The Amanda Show, Drake and Zoe 101, Victorious, and everything after Victorious. I don't know, Andy. I don't give a fuck.
Such as The Amanda Show, iCarly, and my personal favorite, Drake and Josh. In recent years, Dan has been brought into controversy due to rumors about abusive and possibly sexual behaviors between him and his young female co-stars.
What?
None of these rumors were grounded with any hard evidence, and most people dismissed it. Until March 26, 2018, when Nickelodeon announced that they will be parting ways with Dan Schneider. The news surprised many people. Why would Nickelodeon fire one of its biggest producers seemingly out of nowhere? Were they aware of all the rumors and decided to finally do something about it? What is the Dan Schneider conspiracy?
Fat neck ass boy. Your neck slopping over to his fucking nipples, bro. Like, what the fuck is that, bro? Lush.
Okay, I'm Carly. I'm Sam. And we
foot fetish? Whoa.
We like to draw families on our toes.
I just remembered. Okay, I do remember an episode of this with feet. I remember a Drake and Josh episode about feet. What else? What other thing had something about feet? Did Victorious have something about feet?
Observe. Okay, and that completes our 5-part series on toes with froze.
Now, I'm gonna turn off the camera using only the remote and the power of my toes.
Yo.
One of the most prominent rumors regarding Dan Schneider is that he has a thing for feet and uses his shows and their following to satisfy this fetish.
Just goes to show you, watch out for people that be sucking on toes and got the feet fetish, bro. Tell you, I don't touch no toes. I mean, I touch toes. I ain't got no foot fetish though. See, I got my eye on y'all niggas in my chat right now, bro. Got my eye on y'all niggas. Y'all niggas got potential to turn into some fucking freaks, bro. Like,
I need
what's up,
to know
bro?
if your large
Like, no, I'm
gargantuan
playing.
fat gorilla nuts are smooth or bumpy. Need to know for my science final.
They're smooth. Why would my scrotum be bumpy, my nigga? Like,
you may be thinking, well, maybe he just finds feet and toes to be funny. And to be honest, some of the scenes by themselves are rather harmless and something that I can imagine on other shows. However, it's undeniable that there are a large number of feet-related puns and barefoot scenes in the shows. Too many to list
all
here.
about some feet.
Outside of television, there are some weird examples, however. In Victorious, Tori hosts an online show called Tori Takes Requests, where viewers can ask her to do all sorts of random things. In the very first episode, Tori gets a request to have ketchup poured all over her feet, and then she does a little dance at the end.
Bro, this is fucking me up, because I loved watching these shows, bro, but now I'm gonna see this was just a freak-ass boy that wanted these little girl feet in the show.
In another online show called Cat's Random Thoughts,
I don't know.
The first episode, where she sticks her big toe in her mouth. I didn't really watch Victorious growing up, so I don't know if these played on television, but I do know that they were extras on theslab.com, a fictional in-universe website. Now, here is where things get even more unusual. On September 13th, 2013, the Salmon Cat Twitter page asked its followers to take a picture of their feet with the hashtag Sam and Cat Saturday. And a number of people did. This is just one of many now infamous feet-related tweets from Dan Schneider and his
Sam and Cat tomorrow, whatever, fingers get
shows. But this is the most well-known. You can find several if you look around long enough. During the same year, there was a post on Reddit about how Dan Schneider is the most successful writer / TV executive in children's television for the last 30 years. A user commented, "I grew up in LA and was an extra on the Amanda Show a few times. He, being Dan Schneider, paid me $100 once just to tickle my feet."
What the fuck? Yo, if I were to pay y'all, let me stop, because that's gonna be weird, bro. I didn't even mean it like that. Never mind. Let me just stop. But holy fuck, this nigga's weird, bro. He paid me $100 once just to tickle my feet. Wait, for him to tickle her feet? He paid her to tickle her feet. What kind of freak shit?
He, being Dan Schneider.
Yeah, take this, please. Let me just tickle him. Let me tickle him, please. I'll give you 100.
Paid me $100 once just to tickle my feet.
Take it, please.
The user further elaborated. To make a weird story short, in between takes, Dan asked me if I was ticklish, and I said no. Then he bet me $100 he could make me ticklish. I was expecting him to reach over and tickle me under my arm or something like that, but he led me to his office. I basically got paid to receive a foot massage and a lot of compliments.
Yo!
The commenter later deleted his or her account. It's unknown who this person is, how old he or she was, or if this person was even telling the truth.
Yeah, GG's, they got him.
A small YouTube channel known as Revenge of the Sis have done a number of videos about Dan Schneider, and during one of their podcasts, they received a call from an anonymous source stating that she went to an audition for one of Dan Schneider's shows. The call was quite lengthy, so for time's sake, I'll be playing a portion of what she had to say. The full podcast will be available below.
Talk to me.
So in 1997, I was discovered in a mall, and basically we would go on auditions just to different places, and eventually I got a manager and an agent who would send me on audition calls for, like little things like commercials and everything. And then as I started growing my career, in 2007, my agent contacted me and my family about possibly getting a good Nickelodeon gig. And we flew out to LA for this audition. And when we got there, it was a bunch of kids, probably like 200 kids. And then these random agents hand-selected specific kids that they liked or, showed some charisma. And then once about 40 kids were selected, we were then told to take off our shoes and that we were each going to go into a room to show the producer, who is Dan Schneider, the tapes to see who we would want on the show. And of course, we always ask, like, oh, what do we have to do? Like, what would you like us to be doing once we're in there? And my agent told me, he's like, it's going to be like he's like, you got to just take off your shoes, just like run around in front of the camera, talk about how much you love being barefoot. And at the time, even, it was like, okay, that's weird, but I didn't think anything of it because I was still young.
Right.
What?
My mom kind of looked around and was like, this is wrong. There's just something really wrong about this.
What the fuck?
Because this person's mother decided to take her out of the audition, she's been blacklisted from the business.
Okay, so...
Hey, Dan Schneider.
One, he's a freaky foot.
I know you're watching my Vine.
The fuck is it?
Vine. Look what you've done to me.
There are a number of photos circulating the internet of Dan Schneider being a bit too touchy with his young child actors, some of which are a bit more uncomfortable to look at than others. There are stories of him inviting young actresses into his office and hosting pool parties during auditions.
Yo!
So what would happen is that your parents would send you to sort of like this camp. It was basic acting classes, and it was an opportunity for the kids to get discovered. And interestingly enough, most of the kids got discovered by the pool.
What?
They had a pool, they had like tennis courts, and I believe like it was like Megan Fox and other female and Hillary Duff was another one who got discovered there at the pool. And they would push you to do pool activities because they said that's where you have the highest chance of getting discovered.
What?
Now, what was the age range of the people that went to these at these camps?
The age ranges, the ones that I was familiar with, are ages 13 to 22.
13 to 22.
In an article by Kira Davis from Red State, she writes,
13,
I happened to be chatting with a former child actor over a week ago. We were discussing Weinstein, and she told me that in her youth, she worked on one of Schneider's shows very briefly. She told me, my friend was molested by that man on set. Everyone knew it.
What?
No one said a word.
It was,
In 2004, actor and producer Brian Peck was convicted of several accounts of lewd acts towards a minor and was sentenced to 16 months in prison.
Who's this nigga?
Court documents reveal that several
this?
actor and producer Brian Peck was convicted of several accounts of lewd acts towards a minor and was sentenced to 16 months in prison. Court documents reveal that several of these acts involved attempted sodomy of a person under 16, sexual penetration by foreign object, and oral copulation by anesthesia or controlled substance, just to name a few. The victim has remained anonymous to protect his or her career, but according to reports, the child actor was involved in the Amanda Show.
Oh my god. Yo, under the jail. Under the jail. Under. Don't fucking napalm strike on it after. Bro.
After serving a sentence, Peck was released from prison.
What do you mean after? How long did he serve? I wasn't paid that. How long did
and went straight back to working on kids shows, such as The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
What the fuck?
This is because
he got 16 months for that shit.
Although he is prohibited from direct contact with children, that technically doesn't mean he's not allowed to work on shows that involve children.
What? How is that even allowed? How is that allowed? Like how first of all, how is this sentence now way longer than that? Like what?
I wonder where I'd wear this.
Wear it to a fruit stand. You look like a lime.
So what does this have to do with Dan Schneider?
Flamed ass.
Well, in a 2002 article titled Groomed to Be All That, it is revealed that Dan Schneider and Brian Peck would host comedy boot camps for Nickelodeon child stars, where they were allegedly separated from their parents. Really think about that for a bit. The guy that held boot camps for children was convicted and sentenced 2 years later for committing sexual acts with children, and then went straight back to working on children's shows.
Sickening.
When asked if he had anything to say to the child he abused, Peck responded with, I don't have any comment on it. I really don't. And this is the guy that Dan Schneider worked with for years.
I bet you freak ass nigga.
According to Deadline.com, Dan Schneider was known for having temper issues. During a meeting with Nickelodeon executives, Dan was told that his show Game Shakers would not be renewed for a 4th season, leaving it on a cliffhanger ending. It was also reported that Nickelodeon's newest show, Cousins for Life, would move into the same studio that all of Schneider's shows were exclusively produced for years, and that Dan wasn't so happy about having to share space now. Perhaps the most absurd allegation towards Dan Schneider is that he is the true father of Jamie Lynn Spears' daughter. Yeah, this is a little silly.
Nigga, what? Nigga, what?
He is the true father of Jamie Lynn Spears' daughter.
Nigga,
yeah, this is a little silly, but it does lead into something interesting, so I'm going to bring it up for educational purposes, just so you guys know.
Nigga, what?
Jamie Lynn Spears, the star of Zoe 101, infamously got pregnant at 16 years old.
Yeah, I remember that.
Which resulted in the cancellation of the show.
I remember that. Crazy
Days and Nights is an online gossiping website ran by an anonymous blogger known as NT, a self-proclaimed dialed-in entertainment lawyer. Supposedly, NT was able to predict certain scandals involving big-name celebrities, such as Weinstein and Kevin Spacey, on his website years before mainstream media caught on. Obviously, there's no way to verify this is accurate, despite the Daily Beast believing so. Regardless, there was an interesting post made by NT in October of 2007 saying, "I don't even know how you define what list someone is when they are on some ensemble show watched by teens and preteens. So go with the above and make her a female. Make her pregnant, which is causing the producers to have a heart attack because they really don't need any more scandals. But wait, there's more. One of the producers, who was old enough to be her grandfather, shouldn't be having a heart attack because of shock, because he is the one who knocked her up. New boyfriends are being lined up as we speak." In December of 2007, just 2 months later, Jamie Lynn Spears announces her pregnancy.
Yo, there's no way that's a coincidence, bro. Like that. Nah, what y'all think, bro? What y'all think? What the fuck, bro? You think he did it? There's no way, bro. What?
Speaking of crazy days and nights, visitors to the website are able to create accounts and comment on NT's posts, often attempting to guess which celebrity will be exposed next. One of these commenters, known as him, is believed to be Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, the Golden Avenger himself. Where the hell did this come from? Well, most people came to this conclusion because of what him revealed about himself through his posts, such as having a troubled youth and nearly destroying his Hollywood career.
Rapping.
Him also listed celebrities that he was friends with, including Jon Favreau, Guy Ritchie, David Kelly,
my boy,
John Hughes, Natasha Gregson Wagner, Brian Lord, Tommy Lee Jones, Susanna Hoffs,
that's him, nigga.
Steve Martin,
it's
Rachel
you,
McAdams,
nigga, it's you, nigga. That's your account, my nigga. Like, come on, man.
Molly Ringwald, Miranda Cosgrove,
that's you, my nigga.
and Susan Downey, Robert Downey Jr.'s wife. It's worth noting that him's complete list of celebrities included
No, he's not saying Robert Downey. They're not saying Robert
some
Downey.
that people were not able to find a connection to Robert Downey
They're not
Jr.,
trying to say that he's
such as
you know
Neil
what I'm
Patrick
saying?
Harris and John Hamm. Of course, there's no way to know for certain who him is, but what we do know is that some time ago, he had this to say about...
No, then, bro, you gotta understand. Okay, y'all just heard a name and just... No, he's not a pedo. No. He had an account and was making comments about, Dan Schneider and shit. And then they realized the person who behind that account was Robert, you feel me? By connecting clues and shit. You understand? Robert was not on no type of timing. He was on no type of timing.
Dan Schneider. He's a monster. The worst predator alive.
This is what the him account says, and everybody believes that the him account is Robert Downey because of these clues that they put together and shit, right? This is why his name is brought up right now. Not because Robert did some nut shit.
And if you wonder why nobody will confront or charge him, he's in charge of multiple hit shows for Nick, which rakes in oceans of money, tens of millions of dollars multiplied by many years and many shows, not to mention his merchandising royalties. So Viacom Nick warned him to cool it, then pay for his damn lawyers. What about the parents? No tweener parent who shoved their kid into the limelight from birth is going to cross him either, and risk career suicide and loss of revenue and residuals in future career. No matter how bad it fucks up the kids, especially if there's multiple kid actors in the family, and the kids' agents are complicit too, just ask the Spears family. A lot of settlements get paid out of Viacom's accounts.
Wow.
Finally, on March 26, 2018,
I love
Nickelodeon parted ways with Dan Schneider. Nickelodeon's official statement was, following many conversations together about next directions and future opportunities, Nickelodeon and our longtime creative partner Dan Schneider / Schneider's Bakery have agreed to not extend the current deal. Since several Schneider's Bakery projects are wrapping up, both sides have agreed that this is a natural time for Nickelodeon and Schneider's Bakery to pursue other opportunities and projects. Dan was given a payout of $7 million upon his departure. He and his wife sold their home and currently reside in Hidden Hills, California. It's unknown if Dan Schneider is working on any new projects.
Yeah, he needs to just get the fuck out of here.
Is Dan guilty?
Hear from this nigga.
Did he really abuse his young child actors?
Yo, that's insane, bro.
Well, no one knows for certain. As you may have noticed, there is actually no concrete evidence against Dan Schneider. No celebrity has spoken out, and the ones who did have kept their identities private or are anonymous. So, for all we know, they could be lying. The closest comes to us from Noah Monk. the actor who played Gibby on iCarly, from the
Okay.
official podcast. But even
Okay.
he was hesitant on defending Dan.
I was sort of, I mean, if that shit went on, I'm fucking like, that's devastating to me because I don't see him in that light, you know? So watching clips on YouTube and shit of that is like crazy. But I mean, the foot fetish shit is like, okay, bro, come on. Like, I never really noticed that when I was 15 on the show, but of course, looking in retrospect, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. No, and I never observed, like, saw anything like that or got hints of that. So it's fucking, it might be baseless rumor, but I don't want to speak. Like, what if some shit comes out? I don't want to be like on record being like, no.
Yeah,
So I have no clue.
yeah. So just, you feel me? Smart.
These rumors and accusations have existed for a while, but nobody really said or did anything until Nickelodeon separated themselves from Dan. It was only then that people started growing concern. Why would Nickelodeon fire one of their biggest producers just out of nowhere? Were they aware
You know
of
what's
something?
crazy? And this is like one of the biggest producers ever, and they can't fucking catch this nigga like that. Now imagine all the other situations within jobs or just schools or just other shit in life that motherfuckers are just getting away with type shit, bro. That we just would not know about or never know about.
Many people point to this
That shit's
event as
insane,
evidence
bro.
that Dan must be guilty.
Like, this nigga got the cameras
but
all
I
up
beg to
on
differ.
him.
I think it's worth mentioning
And he's
that
not
Dan's
getting
shows
caught.
have been seriously declining in ratings. iCarly's pilot episode got 4.1 million views. Their most viewed episode, I Saved Your Life, got 11.2 million views. And their least viewed episode, I Battle Chip, got 2.4 million views. Victorious' pilot episode got 5.7 million.
Damn.
Their most viewed episode, Begging on Your Knees, got 6.1 million.
Whoa.
And their least viewed episode, The Hambone King, got 2.39
Begging on Your
million.
what?
So not that bad. Skipping over Sam and Cat since that show never finished.
Sam and
Henry
Cat.
Danger's pilot
What the fuck?
episode got 1.94 million views.
Bro, I don't even know what that is, bro.
Their most viewed episode, Hour of Power, got 3.16 million. And their least viewed episode, Saturday Night Lies, got 1.05 million.
Bro, this nigga getting less views than my
Game
fucking
Shaker's
YouTube
pilot
channel,
episode
my
got
nigga. What the fuck?
1.98 million views. Their most viewed episode was the pilot episode. And their least viewed episode, Escape from Utah, got 0.52 million views. It seems as if the
Yo.
Schneider style just
You might as well just make a YouTube channel, my boy, because you know what I'm saying?
wasn't working anymore. Is it not more reasonable that Nickelodeon saw this trend and fired him because of it? I don't want to dismiss any of the people that have investigated and spoken out against him. I mean, with this many rumors and allegations surrounding Dan, it's just kind of hard to ignore it. And it's not like this hasn't happened before. In 2004, a man known as Jason Handy used his job at Nickelodeon to lure young child actors. He was arrested and sentenced to 6 years in prison for molestation and possession of child pornography.
Oh my god. Holy fuck. Yo, like, what the fuck? What do you, like, I really want to, like, what do you think has to be wrong with a person's, like, brain? It's like children, or like just someone that's like not their age range for real. Like, what is, they need to do like a study on these fucking, like, what the fuck is this shit? That's disgusting, my nigga. That's fucking disgusting. How?
Sentenced to 6 years in prison for molestation and possession of child pornography. And after serving his time, he was released and went straight back to working on Nickelodeon.
What?
Hollywood is one of the most unsupervised, unrestricted industries in the world. The promise of fame and fortune can be so alluring to young and upcoming actresses and actors that they and their families are just willing to
Like,
do
how is that
anything.
allowed, my nigga?
Once you become a public figure,
I don't
everything you
understand that.
say and do
That
will
doesn't
be
even make
held
fucking
against
sense.
you. Which is why if some actor or actress in the industry was abused as a child, they'd probably rather say nothing and not risk their career. You can't change the past, so might as well keep making money.
Money, man.
I think the most we
That's
can definitively say
sickening,
about
bro.
Dan is that, at the very least, he finds feet entertaining, and that's not a crime. But who knows? Maybe someday an actor or actress will speak out against Dan. Maybe concrete evidence will be found, and maybe something will be done.
Shit.
I suppose we'll never know.
And that's what's fucked. Hella skeletons in that nigga closet, I ain't gonna lie. I already know, bro. Like, there's no way just nothing None of them allegations were true, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Said I'm on 3 pills right now, if I'm being honest. Hope my feelings shoot out like a rocket. Niggas thought they had the swag, but I'm really on it. Look at you just window shopping that new bag I bought.